Hello once again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. One for the first time in a long time that is coming to you, not live, but we are live and in person. We are no longer sitting across computers.
On location.
We are on location.
We are on location.
At Third Place. They're gracious enough
Is this
to...
West Park?
This is West Park, I
West
believe.
Park, Lakewood border?
Yeah, it's like on the border.
Yeah, it is West Park, though.
On Warren Road in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. So, thanks to our sponsors who typically
Don't
take care
exist.
of us. Yeah. But
maybe Third Place.
Give us
Hey, man.
Jays.
Give us one on the house.
Yeah, thanks to Smokin' Jays, thanks to Smart Mark Video and IWTV, and of course, thanks to that merger. Watching AIW is never easier. You can go to smartmarkvideo.com and purchase a DVD or MP4 of anything that AIW has ever put out that has been recorded, or you can go to IWTV and watch a rotating archive, including live streams as they happen in real time, or not just AIW, but so many other independent wrestling promotions
getting food as we speak,
as
Steve.
Food is being delivered here at Third
Smells
Place.
delicious.
Got the pasta bake and some garlic bread. We are joined, voices you've heard so far. The Duke is sitting in here as a special guest on Third Place, as well as Derrick Dillinger.
Hello, how is everyone? Oh, Duke's taking the mic away from me. God. Hello, everyone.
You got wings to eat.
Two people who love to hear each other talk. By
Only
hear each
three
other, I
mics,
mean hear
though.
themselves.
3 mics, 4 people.
3 mics, 4 guys.
One mic went missing during Go for Broke. We haven't found it yet.
Also,
we don't use this equipment that often.
of course, AIW owner John Thorne is here. My name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts, for the first time in forever having to actually moderate conversations. And it's a hard sell.
We almost had Angelo's back. I saw the guy at AEW, but I just forgot to reach out to him.
A different Angelo's guy. Not
No, the same guy that would set it up before. He's back.
He's back there?
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. They're doing a live audit of the Maricopa County election results.
Oh, is that what that is? That I just saw a bunch of things about votes. I didn't know what county it was.
I haven't reached out to see if we get the pizza back yet. I'm gonna wait and see how his YouTube channel takes.
I think
how
it might
that
be
goes.
time to let that go. I don't know. It's been 2
Yeah.
years now, almost.
Yeah, well, this is the first time we get to be in person ever to do the shout-out segment. We'll lead the show off with, even though it's a hard sell day, of course, got to lead off with the shout-out segment. Obvious shout-out to the folks here at Third Place. Duke, you know all the names.
Absolutely. Shout out to Jeff, Brandon, and they've rotated the bartenders, so I don't know who they all are now. Oh wait, hold on.
Can we give a shout out to that hot girl that used to give me quarts of soda?
Caitlin. Shout out to Caitlin, even though she'll never hear this, but shout out to her wherever
Shout
she
out to
may
her.
be.
Hopefully alive.
Oh, she's alive. She's alive.
All right. What other shout-outs we got going on? John Thorne, you got any shout-outs? Shout-out to the Cleveland Cavaliers on a solid run, even though it was disappointing.
Shout out to John C. Riley for crushing Winning Time.
That's a good show.
Big fan
Great
of that
I
show.
just got to give a shout out to that entire cast,
Shout out
but
to-
especially him.
Shout-out to Tom Hanks showing up in Cleveland opening day.
Fuck Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that
man.
stupid volleyball.
Love it. Love Tom
Beating
Hanks.
that horse to death. Come on, Tom
Love
Hanks.
Tom Hanks, man.
Tom Hanks, get off fucking Apple fucking Plus movies and get back in the theater, brother.
Shout-out to this penne pasta bake I'm about to smash with
Are those
garlic
meatballs in
bread.
there? Those
Yeah.
pretty solid.
I do want to circle back to John C. Riley. I hope he wins every award
He should win every award ever made ever.
for Winning Time. I don't know, I don't know
If
how
you're
many
not
of our,
watching that show, you're missing out.
Yeah, I don't know how many of our listeners are looking for a show to watch, but Winning Time and HBO Max,
So
perfection.
there's a backstory here. Adam McKay is the writer of Winning Time.
Right.
Oh yeah, him and Will
Ferrell's best friend.
They not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Oh, not anymore? No?
Falling out.
Will Ferrell
Because-
stopped talking to him because he gave the role to John C. Riley.
Didn't it went
Who was,
behind.
what, Will Ferrell wanted the role?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a lifelong Lakers fan.
Well, that is true, but
They fell out over
Will
it.
And that's
Ferrell's
his-
not.
and
No,
Didn't even offer it to
You
him.
can't imagine anyone. You can always speculate and guess, but once you see what they do, you literally can't imagine anyone else in that role but John C. Riley.
Well, and apparently Will Ferrell is like the reason why John C. Riley has always been in these Will Ferrell movies because they're boys.
right.
And so Adam McKay basically went around
Yeah, he
Will
didn't
Ferrell
tell-
behind
Wow.
his back.
Yeah,
didn't even
they
tell
don't
him
talk
about
anymore.
Every choice they've made is perfection. I never knew I needed to see Michael Chiklis as Red Auerbach until I watched that show.
The commish.
And now that I've seen it, I totally agree with it. The great casting.
The commish.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
It's
The Shield?
The Thing from terrible Fantastic Four.
Vic Mackey
Yeah.
from The Shield.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Shield. Great show.
Not Roman Reigns, the Shield. The show, the police one.
I'll shout out to the Big Dog, too.
The Big
Shout out
Dog?
to Seth Rollins, former AIW alum.
The Shield, the Bloodline. Shout out to the Bloodline.
No. I ain't going to shout out them. I'll shout out
You don't like
some
the
of the
Bloodline?
Samoans, not all of them.
Shout out to
I
WrestleMania.
pick and choose
we
the
haven't
Samoans.
we
have
haven't
not.
podcasted since WrestleMania.
Tell you what, WrestleMania was sweet. Shout out to our boy KO.
I got to say, I spent WrestleMania Saturday I worked till 1 o'clock in the morning in my office. And I was just like, I'm just going to watch WrestleMania and do taxes. And it was pretty goddamn entertaining. I got to say.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with WrestleMania.
You know what? We are recording this on tax day.
Shout out to the Duke for
Shout
giving
out-
me a big tax bill today.
Shout out to the Duke. Shout out to all the CPAs who have been working hard all tax
Duke
season.
paid a big tax bill, so, it is what it is.
Shout out to CPA. I hear people love his vibe. Shout him out.
He does have a nice vibe.
Well,
To be honest, that's why we're meeting today. The Duke had to give me all my tax things.
Your
that I need to
extension
send in.
papers.
we had to do taxes, and we also had a podcast. We said, let's.
And I feel like getting drunk because I've worked way too much in the last 3 months.
Yeah, with the cocktails are flowing here.
Big
at
night
the
out.
third place
Yeah.
on a Monday night.
Steve Guy's got half a loaf of garlic bread in front of him. He's partying. He's ready to go.
I don't know what to do with
He's
this.
selling me on this pasta bake. Just looking at
Telling
it.
you, man, everything here is delicious. I pitched for this place to be the after party spot. It's a little far away from the Odeon, but I did pitch this place for the after party.
We'll see if Jeff wants to give us some money. Got news on the after party for Friday though. Breaking here.
All right.
Yeah.
We are back at the now what is known as the Odeon Lounge.
The Odeon Lounge.
Oh, it's the lounge now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that why the price is so high? Because it's a lounge?
Well, we'll see how the prices are this Friday.
We'll
I don't know. We got to
we'll
get some
see.
adjustments in there. I don't know.
We'll
Inflation's
find out.
hitting the Odeon hard.
There is a fucking what's it called, a
Markup?
supply chain shortage
Yeah, there is.
at
yeah,
the
there
Odeon
is.
There,
Lounge. I don't know about the Odeon.
Yeah, put a
proper.
cooler in the Jeep in the parking lot. I think maybe that might.
I don't know
be
about the
answer.
Odeon proper, but the Odeon Lounge definitely had some supply issues.
Odeon Lounge has a markup.
Last time we were there, so
Odeon Lounge. I think is the Odeon Lounge in Canada because everything is a lot more expensive in the Odeon Lounge.
We're gonna
I
see.
think there's some conversion rate I'm not aware of.
But we actually weren't even really looking for after party type places. We're kind of
yeah.
backing off of that for various reasons. But
We'll be there now.
the Odeon wanted to do it,
The
so
lounge came calling.
they came.
I mean,
calling.
it's super convenient. It's nothing if not convenient. It's just a little steep, but
We'll
it's
see.
it's convenient.
We'll see if it's adjusted since.
Yeah. Well, that was grand opening night, right?
Yeah, that was like the first thing that they ever.
And it was my
tried in there.
birthday, so prices obviously were through the roof.
Yeah, they knew you were going to spend in there.
Right.
They
so-
should have had throwback prices for your birthday.
Yeah.
That would have been
So
better.
yeah, we are that they
51
actually,
cents for everything.
They
Whatever the
actually
prices were 51 years ago.
they actually contacted today and brought it up. So we said sure, we will bring the after party back to the Odeon Lounge. So you only have to walk about 10 feet
Perfect.
from the show space into the lounge.
Scotty Random in the Discord is still going to ask me where the after party is because he does
He asked
not-
me the other day, and I said, as of now, there was nothing. But
he doesn't listen to the podcast like on
Yeah, he-
time. He listens to them like way previously, but he should listen to the at least.
well, I'm working on getting
week
a
up.
graphic out there too this week. This deal just came together, so we'll see what happens. But man, I was telling Duke before you guys even got here, it was like, man, it seemed like a good idea. We set all these dates, but man, they are coming fast and furious, Vin Diesel style. They are
Not
coming-
even the regular dates, but we were talking about all the random outside dates for
And the
summer.
winch- yeah.
The summer schedule is like
Yeah, summer schedule
packed.
is packing up. We have a couple pending offers right now as well, for additional dates.
Do you remember in 2019 we had, I think it was 10 shows in 8 weeks or something crazy like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. And I look and I look at, some of these like traveling shows and stuff, and it's like, fuck, man, like why do we have to? We don't have to travel that far. Like the farthest we have to go is an hour.
It's not that far, but it's like somehow we got to turn that into like a good time where we can travel around or whatever else. But it's just like we have two successful. Like, obviously, Ashtabula and North Canton were hugely successful last year, and somehow the word gets out.
Right.
And everybody wants peace now.
Right. And now we're getting more offers for more of these kind of additional gigs and potential festivals. I mean, nothing set in stone as of right now. But
Terrible Jimmy Buffett cover bands, and all sorts.
I think we're headlining the North Canton Festival
I
this
hope
year.
so, because I hated that guy. That guy was terrible.
Well, that's if we don't lose 90% of our audience.
Well, yeah. Well,
I don't think we did.
Well, no. Remember, somebody told me today we're going to lose 90%.
Oh, well, yeah. If that one thing doesn't happen, then we won't.
I got a text today that said, "Hey, you're going to lose 90% of your audience soon," which is an astronomical amount of people to lose.
Yes, it would be. It would be detrimental to the business model.
That assumption is that we didn't have a lot of these people prior to a certain scenario.
Yeah,
but that person has also lost 100% of his children. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm done fucking around.
Jesus.
All right. Hey, now.
He's trying to find love.
Okay.
Can't wait for that Facebook post.
This is. I didn't think this was going to be a Tom Dunn podcast.
I'm done. I'm done. I've had it.
So Derrick Dillinger sit on my side because Duke's taking up his.
We are back at the Odeon. A lighter Odeon schedule this year, but that's because we're kind of spreading the love out throughout all these different venues throughout the year.
It's strategic decisions for the shows that are involved.
Correct.
You can't have certain shows. The Odeon's great, but you just can't have certain shows at the Odeon.
We're trying to really make the Odeon a marquee destination.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not to say that all the venues,
but we're doing that.
marquee.
We're doing that everywhere because I'm not gonna spoil anything, but we're having obviously certain shows in Akron because that's the best place to have them. So we're turning that into, a marquee event or a marquee location for certain shows.
And I mean, that's, Akron has continued to grow for us since we started,
Yeah.
It's two, and I think we're doing two a year, and they always did very well. And now it's like this year, it's like, let's kind of fucking put our feet to the fire and go back. And now we're bringing some of the marquee events there.
Well, I mean, no offense to the Odeon. The Odeon's great, but it's a bigger place.
Right.
And so,
as many people
it's logistically, it might not be great for everybody, but it's better parking. It's more space. It's brownie Sundays. I know those are huge for people, but it's a lot of positives to have big shows there.
Negative, though, nothing streams there. And that always, I think, will make the Odeon the crown jewel venue.
Because you can do everything there.
You get everything there. You get the production there.
Derrick Dillinger production or regular production?
Regular fucking
lights high quality production.
24 karat gold production.
You get the stream. You get all the bells and whistles there. But, the Odeon is finally making kind of a go coming out of the pandemic. So they have a fucking crazy calendar this year.
They really do. They are loaded up. We've talked and trying to do some comedy there. The Cleveland Comedy Festival will be back there in November, but we're trying to do some other stuff. And
it's hard to get a date.
They're packed up real fast.
Like, I almost feel like I have to start booking our 2023s.
Yeah,
soon.
It's good for them. I mean, we're not. So coming in this week, folks, Eyes of the Beast. We have standing room only tickets left still.
Yeah, we. It's getting tight. It's getting tight.
Yeah, because we're still
down to the wire.
The ICP show, December 2019. I think we did probably like 500-600 people in there. We're probably not going to be. We're not trying to be at that just yet. Still at the Odeon, but it's gonna be a lot of people.
It's. I don't know if it was that. I mean, with walk up and everything, maybe it was
right with walk up. Yeah,
it was, and that Absolution that was there was obviously also a huge crowd. It's gonna be close to those levels, I feel like everything else is going full tilt, Full Tilt Boogie, if you will. So
Is that a John Thorne coined phrase right there?
no, it's
Full Tilt Boogie? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's what he said.
no, it's actually
That's some NASCAR thing?
No, I don't know. It's all I do know is there is a making of From Dusk Till Dawn called Full Tilt Boogie behind the scenes.
Okay.
So that's where that terminology is in the back of my head randomly. But I feel like it's go time for all the venues now.
Yeah.
We have played more than by the rules everywhere for a long time. And it's kind of, what's crazy is now I'm getting shitty emails and flack because I have the copy and paste COVID generic protocols and on Eventbrite, like, hey, mask recommended, all that shit. And people are like, oh man, cool, I was going to go until I saw the rules. And it's like,
Well,
It's just recommended,
I mean, that's
folks.
for as crazy as everybody was. It's also crazy to be like, "Oh, I'm not going to go because you said something I don't like." It's just like it doesn't say they're required. It says recommended. Whatever. Look, if you want to wear one until the day you die, please wear one. It's okay,
Right.
but let other people do what they want because apparently everyone says we can do that now.
right. And it's just
So,
like, now,
Do your thing, do you, and let everybody else do them and enjoy the show.
people are getting mad just because of like the idea of there being any sort of rules.
Frankly, if you ever have any sort of sniffles and are under the weather, I'd be happy if you wear a mask.
Yeah,
Don't be
please.
sneezing all over me. You know what I mean? Even if it's not COVID and you just got a common fucking cold. I'm a busy guy. I don't need that shit knocking me out.
Yeah, I mean, I am
Turns into
too,
a
but
full-blown sinus infection and stuff. Get out of here with that.
But yeah, we're going full go. Gauntlet for the gold.
Gauntlet for the
And
gold.
Akron,
Akron,
full go.
May 21st. Cinco
I tell
de
you what.
Cybernetico,
I tell you what,
May 5th.
man,
we're jumping ahead. That's
I know.
like 3 podcasts.
I'm getting
away.
all over it. But when, we always said we were going to honor those tickets.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, you said it.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have
How's
said
that
it.
honoring?
shout out to a fucking lot of people.
Do you think
that kept those tickets?
You think those fans were going to let those things go? They're not going to miss out on that
Well, some
$30
people,
or whatever it is.
some people, got refunds over the last 2 years or whatever. We didn't do that. Fuck, man. When I went and
No, they were
looked and I was like-
squeezing those things like they were gold.
I was like, holy shit, like, this is a lot of tickets to fucking, I mean, it's not comping out, but it's like essentially comping out because, that money was used to kind of float us for a while.
Which, again, that's a big shout out to those people who held on to those tickets because when they initially said, no, I want you to have the money, that did help us out tremendously
ton.
and get us through.
See, but you made the
some tough
mistake of
times.
saying that. You could have just said, thank you for the money.
Oh, I'm not
and
gonna
taking
do that.
advantage of those dorks.
I'm not doing
and
that.
you should have.
I'm not doing
But-
that. But I mean, it was like,
Heel to the end.
I had the fucking,
Screw them. It's
I had
$30.
I had the fucking hand fucking type in everything, and I was like, holy shit, this is a lot of fucking data entry. I spent a whole day
You
doing
spelled
that.
everybody's name right.
Oh yeah,
So all the reserved seats are spelled correctly.
and then, just announce Gangster Rap made me do it. That was also on sale at the time we shut down.
Yeah.
So less tickets are carrying over, but still, we had a decent amount of people that held on to those as well. And the last event is going to be J-Lit, which I assure you is coming. But not in
Are
the
you sure
normal,
you were still open?
not in the normal spot where you would normally find a J-Lit. But J-Lit is coming, and then we're Squaresville. Does
Does that include not America's Best Value Inn?
Well, this is a question for Steve Guy, who's going to have to wrangle us up a new hotel sponsor, maybe. Hopefully. There's a lot of everyone's very critical of the hotel spots. So,
I am not a fan of America's Best Value Inn.
Well, there's a lot of-
Well, you could just go home.
3 of those 4 words don't belong in that title.
It's a
in
different name
America. That's it.
it's a different name now. Now it's
Oh, is it?
It was bought.
I did enjoy the one time when we went there and we spent time in the bar.
With Terry Funk.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sure.
That was cool.
And another time with Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah. The bar location was decent.
Is this the hotel by the training school?
Yes.
It's got a new name now, though. That used to be the J-Lit Hotel.
Yeah, it's real trash. I gave my room to Cedric Alexander once because I was hanging out there. I was like,
I stayed there. I froze out Hot Sauce Williams. He and I shared a room, and I as soon as I got in there, I turned the air on to like 40, and I woke up and he was cocooned in his bed with all the blankets around him. I was like, sorry, man.
We've gone there or the Hojo, which is very politicized in the Discord.
Oh,
There was a
Jesus
murder,
God.
right? Wasn't there a murder at the Hojo?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, probably. It's probably a murder at pretty much every hotel.
That makes sense. I mean, a couple weeks ago, I did see someone throw their bed.
It got
off the
taken-
balcony.
Yeah.
It got
that
taken
place?
by it got like eminent domained by the city or something. So I think it's getting totally demolished or shut down or
somebody almost once threw
See,
a
but-
mattress outside of the America's Best Value.
What's
actually.
lost
me
about
and Homicide were fucking tangling it.
what's lost about the Hojo isn't it really close to a Bob Evans, which is fantastic.
yeah, right
By
in
really
the same
close to me,
parking lot.
right next door.
Yeah, exactly. So it's right there. So you deal with the Hojo, but then you can have sweet breakfast in the morning.
That's true America's Best Value right there.
Well, exactly.
This conversation though is making me think, hey, Steve Guy, we recently have kind of asked the students if they have additional skill sets. So we may have a team for you to maybe make start making calls.
All right, all
You know,
right.
Like Mission
oversee
Impossible?
it. Well, we need a hotel.
We have Donhausen. He's a
He can make things happen. Is that what he said?
he can, and
He manages
That's what I'm saying.
rappers.
Is that what he says? Is that was a quote? He can make things happen.
Him and Brian Shaw. They
Yeah.
make
That's how
things
Gangster
happen.
Rap made Donhausen do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what made Danhausen.
shout out
Danhausen.
to Donhausen. He actually dyed his hair blonde, so he's now Blondhausen.
Seriously?
Yeah, he looks like
Okay, that's an anti shout out if he dyed his hair blonde.
Anti shout out to
Yeah.
Donhausen.
That's a moment of silence.
why did he have luscious locks?
I just if you can't
always
dye,
wearing a
unless
hat.
you're Scott Steiner, you can't just dye your hair blonde and show up somewhere.
Or Eminem.
yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, but that made me think we have to probably start finding an official J-Lit hotel. We should start on it soon.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people the date or not yet?
Well, after 6/17, but before 7/23, right?
Nope. After that too.
Oh, after 7/23.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be.
It's gonna be in the summer though.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do that in the summer? We got all those outside dates we got to do.
Well,
Well, maybe it's going to be at the North Canton Street Festival.
man, maybe. All right, that's cool.
Wouldn't that be something? Imagine showing up to
Wait,
the North Canton.
you're gonna
Street
say you're gonna
Festival.
tell me Little Guido's gonna drink Bud Heavies at the North Canton Street
Little
Festival?
Can you imagine him not drinking Bud Heavies at the
Well,
North
no,
Canton
I'm
Street
just
Festival?
saying location-wise. Of course, he's gonna be drinking Bud Heavies.
man, we gotta get Little Guido back soon.
Love that guy.
But we
Shout
should
out
get
to
in,
Little Guido.
We should get into.
We should.
It is Friday. We
This
don't.
week's
It
show?
is a hard sell, but
All
we
right,
don't
hold
have.
on. I gotta give Derek the microphone because I gotta get a beer.
Yeah, give me one too.
All right, wait. What are we doing here? We're doing
Tito's and water.
Tito's water,
Tito's.
vodka cranberry.
I'm good at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. You want more
Appreciate
pasta bake?
No more pasta. All
right.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we don't have much to hard sell.
It
We
is-
we are live streaming.
Right.
We did allude
if
to
we,
that.
If we can get those numbers up, that would be tremendous.
So, if you are on IWTV or you want to watch us this Friday, but you're not getting tickets or you won't be in Cleveland, then get on IWTV. It's only $9.99, so that's
You can
incredible.
sign up
for
with
this live stream.
with code Absolute. You don't really get anything for it, but it gives us a kickback if you use our code as a referral for your subscription or whatever. That is the big thing, though. I'm not. It's crazy to say, but not concerned about ticket sales at all for Friday. Concerned about streams, hoping that obviously there's a lot of counter programming going on this weekend. We would love to stand out and
yeah.
really fucking pull a big number.
We'll get into this card, but here's what I'll say about stream-wise. Production-wise, lighting, all these, we certainly have things that give the Odeon a very specific ambiance. Some people don't like it, but a lot of people just kind of love how the feel of what's coming. People have talked about how, man, the Odeon looks like the most independent wrestling venue that's really going. And we have not had pre-pandemic crowd sizes. So prior to the pandemic, it really gave off that feel. You can hear that crowd. All that energy was coming through your TV. And this is going to be that show in terms of what the attendance numbers are so far with pre-sale. And there's still some more tickets available, as we said, shop.aiwrestling.com.
And last time we were at the Odeon, it was also a big lineup. There was a lot of benefits to Toy Hio happening the next day. Go help him, Derrick. He's spilling all
Dude,
around.
he's spilling all over himself. Thank God. He's walking into walls and pillars.
But and that show was great, and it was really close to where we wanted to get.
Yeah.
Friday is where we want to get. I mean, we're on the verge of legitimately turning people away Friday night.
And I think that this lineup, these matches, are going to have the crowd, on their feet and just going.
Listen, this is what I
crazy.
I've said this amongst us, but the worst thing some people can do is I was on cruise control and motivate me to fucking show why we are the fucking top dogs in this area. And this crowd, I think, certainly screams that. I put a lot of time into this. Not saying I haven't been putting a lot of time into other cards, but some of the stuff was on cruise control coming out of the pandemic. You're looking at limited tickets. You're looking at all these different hurdles that we're going through.
Limited budget.
Friday, it's like, fuck you, like, we're back.
Here we go, yeah.
So does that mean that when
You're not booked, is what it means,
when
yeah.
you get there Friday, you're going to have the duster on? I'm thinking it might be time for this is the dance speech. You got me excited there for a second. I don't know.
Josh Bishop in West Barkley did buy me a duster. I think it is in the storage unit right now. But
No pun intended. I might have time to dust it off.
But I really have taken issue with some of the things that are probably people can read between the lines on what that is, and I was like, you know what, we have been kind of fucking going through the motions a little bit. It's like, fuck it, like, let's fucking go. And I'm really happy with how this card came together. And he's not here. Shout out to Dom, who is kind of forced to deal with all of my fucking erratic behaviors when it comes to being in this mentality and this mindset. I kind of let Dom, I kind of say, hey, Dom, throw me a shell together. And I don't know if Dom knows it or not, but like 90% of that shell is not going to happen. But like, I just need to see something so I can kind of like.
Everybody needs a jumping off point. I mean, for anything.
Like, I'm just so busy with work and everything else. Like, I can't sit there and go, who do I want to book on this? So I let Dom throw something at me, and then I kind of like beautiful minded. I move things up, I move things down, I move things over, I take things off the board. And this, I was like, especially like, I feel like this is the show that is taking us back to where we were at in 2019, heading into 2020. I feel like this is the lineup that is on that caliber, because I feel like we were really heading to untouchable status in 2019, and obviously sidelined by the pandemic. Dealt with a lot of criticisms on should we run, shouldn't we run. We did do a few things that did not feel like what we are. Mm-hmm. In retrospect, somewhat regret even doing those shows. But at the time, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's the story of AIW. I mean, there's, what I did, last month, I probably hate. You know what I mean? Like, I can find a way to fix everything, armchair fucking booker after the fact.
Yeah, right. Well, 2019 we brought up, and we're rolling. Let's start there as we talk about this entire card, because there's a women's match in here featuring someone we had booked in 2020, actually. We were excited about it ending in 2019. We knew she was going to be on her way over in 2020. That didn't happen. Let's talk about that match first.
Yeah, so, I mean, much like I just said, those tickets that we have to honor, right? Like, I told Shaza McKenzie, like, because, she really got dealt a bad hand. Because she's over in 2020, and
Yeah.
the pandemic hits, and she just sees show after show after show cancel. And people don't realize, like, a lot of these international talents, like, they fly themselves over, and then they fucking load up on bookings, and then it makes everything worth it, right?
Right.
So if for people that forgot, like, Gauntlet was canceled the week of.
Yeah.
It was like something like that Monday when the fucking, the Ohio fucking
Yeah, they
stay-at-home
shut
order
everything
came
down,
out,
yeah.
and people's works were closing down and all that shit. So we had to cancel everybody, and Shaza McKenzie was one of those people, and I told her I would love to honor the booking when we could.
Yeah, and we were one of many bookings that she had canceled, as you
Right.
said. So she's coming back.
So, she had messaged me and let me know that she was going to try to come back once things started opening up, because, Australia, all that stuff was super, super locked down.
Yeah.
So, she worked that out, and luckily, at this point we did have dates, and, I sent her the calendar, and I said, pick one. And, this is the one she picked, so.
And she's got an opponent who's really coming into her own. We've talked about it many times over the last few months here on this podcast, but Joselyn Navarro, this is one that I think people are looking forward to, because they were looking forward to Shaza coming over originally, and our fan base has really gotten behind Joselyn. So, right away, right here, starting with this match, is one that people are excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just one of those kind of things that just fell perfectly into place. I think it's going to be a good test for Joselyn. I think it's going to be equally a great test for Shaza McKenzie. Like a welcome to Cleveland sort of thing to see, how our fan base takes to her. Obviously, she has a worldwide fan base.
Yeah.
No, Derrick's going on another run for drinks.
Tequila fuel.
Put his knit cap on, so
Tequila.
Yeah, I
tequila
thought he was
Red
leaving.
So did I.
Yeah.
He touched your hand very
What's going
awkwardly.
on? Well, he's dealing with this tailbone injury. He can only sit for so long.
So,
Tequila and red fuel. Yeah.
very, very excited for, to see how that goes. She has an, obviously international pedigree.
Yeah.
And that's something Joselyn wants to be.
It's nice to have somebody who you can count on to, when you bring people in, that you can put them against and know that it's going to be competitive and entertaining, and neither one will be upset,
Yeah.
They're going to have a good match. And it's nice to have those people that you can count on your roster to do that, and I think she's one of those people.
Yeah. And, Joselyn's starting to get bookings all over the country, which is great for her.
I just saw she has a booking in the Bahamas.
Yeah. So great for her, which also means, hey, great for us. It draws more attention to us. People say,
Yeah.
oh, where do you come from? What's your home base? Here it is. And then in terms of having Shaza here, there's all sorts of people who are just going to be curious to see who she's working.
Is she going to be heel in the Bahamas when she brings out the Jamaican flag and all that stuff? Because I can't imagine they like each other.
I don't know how that
I got to
works.
think there's some kind of weird island tension between all
Some
those.
island tension there.
I would think.
I don't know much about the island.
Yeah.
I don't know. Both colonized by the British, so maybe not.
Well, Spanish first, I think. No.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about the Bahamas.
It's a great question. Currently Bahamas are UK owned. aren't
Tweet
they?
at
I don't
the
think
Duke.
they're-
Currently.
are they their own country?
Tweet at the
Sure.
Duke 1279. Let them know the answer.
I think that was not to get off on a tangent, but I think that was the whole. I think the Spanish-English, war that happened briefly.
Spanish Armada.
When they got
Yeah.
toasted by the English.
Oh, it could be.
I think they lost
Bahamas was
some.
part of it.
I think they lost some territories back then.
It could be. Wow.
As they said, the sun never sets on the British Empire, at least back in the day. Now that's not true, but that used to be true.
This is the kind of stuff that folks have been missing.
Hey,
since,
man,
it's just
you know
been John
what?
Thorne and I.
Get a
via
couple beers with
computer.
me, and I start talking about history.
And on location, and you're going to hear about drink orders.
Trying to win money on the Sixers game here. You know, I got all kinds of things going on.
Drink orders and about food while on
Yeah.
location. Oh, Derek's back.
They're bringing your drink over. I ordered some JoJo fries for the table.
Did you get 25 JoJo
25
fries?
JoJo?
$5 or
$29?
$9?
Not 25. It's a dramatic jump. It goes from 6 JoJo fries to 25 JoJo fries.
That to me makes total sense.
So you only got 6, is what you're saying?
That reminds
okay.
me of since it came up the other day. That reminds me of
one and what, a third each.
That reminds me of a chicken plank basket and a treasure chest of chicken planks at Long John Silver's.
Shout out to Long
You get
John
like
Silver,
3
yeah.
or 20. You know,
You go with the treasure chest?
always.
You guys
Always with the
want to do the
treasure
next
chest.
one on location at Long John Silver?
I would love to. If I don't even know if the 2 that I know of are still open.
Brook Park.
There's one on
closed.
Tiedemann and Brook
There's
Park.
one in Tiedemann and there's one in Elyria. I don't know if they're still open. Are they still open?
What's a hush puppy?
A ball of fried
ball of
bread,
dough, yeah.
delicious.
I've never had it. Sounds great.
Their chicken planks are one of the most perfect foods in the history of mankind.
Do they taste like fish? Because I know they use the same fryer.
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay.
That's how good they are.
Here comes your drink, Steve.
I don't eat fish. Only fish
That's
sticks.
not my drink.
Well, basically, those are. I mean, they kind of are fish sticks, kind of.
All right, so back on track here.
Sorry,
We've covered
sorry.
one match so
People
far.
are in this bar are looking at us so weird because
Yeah,
all these
we're-
microphones.
I know. What are those guys doing over there?
In the back
Oh,
corner, yeah.
We're talking
Hey.
sports over here,
Pay
guys.
no attention to the man in the corner booth. So, all right, cover this match. These ladies, everybody looking forward to it. And then let's go into another one that's going to have people excited. And maybe they didn't realize they were going to be excited about it ahead of time. But if you watched our most recent show at Akron, you saw Dominic Guarini and Jackson Stone. And those two just beat the hell out of each
Can
other.
you dig it? That was fantastic, by the way.
Shogun.
That match was fantastic.
The
Called it
Shogun.
with AIW president shenanigans, Matt Wadsworth.
Wadsworth?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
fantastic.
Duke, how do you feel about your demotion in the AIW commentary booth?
I hate it. I hate Nathan Zagura with a white hot fire.
Oh, my. That's
You can
that's
take
hot
all
fire.
the dicks and put them in a bag and just eat them.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's how I feel.
Come on, he's the voice
really
of the
good.
Browns.
He's really good.
You can't just walk in and take a couple of notes and drop a couple of phrases and think you know what you're doing.
He didn't take notes. Him and Wadsworth have conference calls.
Yeah, which is weird. It's just weird.
He takes his job seriously.
serious
It's not his
journalist.
job.
Wadsworth has never given one fuck of research prior.
Yeah.
He's texting me today. You got the cards. The girl wants to have the call.
Wadsworth does his research while we're commentating. I have to talk slow so he can check Cage Match to look up results.
Not now. Wadsworth texts me, hey, do you have the card? Do you have the order worked out so me and Zagura can
How can he have time
iron
for
it out?
conference calls when he's going to basketball games?
I don't.
Season's over.
Is it over? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
graduating.
Yeah.
Is he?
Springtime
All right.
now. Springtime. Baseball season.
Yeah.
So Jackson Stone, Dominic Guarini.
Shout out to Nathan Zagura though. He for real is doing.
No, I
great.
will not. Moment of silence.
I love that guy. He's great.
I know, because you fired me to call your matches for Nathan Zagura, you traitor.
Wow, traitor.
I'm hoping, maybe Nathan will
Thank
get
you very much.
fucking
Special delivery.
Denzel Ward in the house or something.
Yeah, Miles Garrett.
Dude, Denzel Ward ain't going anywhere except the bank.
Yeah, he shout out to him. New
I don't
contract.
even know where that came from, but yeah, if you can, it's nice if you can get it, I
They
guess.
said he's the highest paid corner.
Exactly.
I want Nathan Zagura to bring AIW friend David Njoku back to a show.
Is he an AIW friend?
David Njoku came to AIW.
He came with Gary Barnage once.
Really?
Oh, did he
That was
really?
the backup that came with him.
Oh, I didn't know
No,
that.
that wasn't David Njoku. It wasn't David Njoku.
I think
It was a different dude. It was Gary Barnage's backup. Gary Barnage and David Njoku didn't even overlap. I don't think, to be honest. Man, it'll take me a minute, but
A good friend of mine, Nathan Zagura, told me David Njoku came to an AIW show.
Now, Gary Barnage. Shout out to Gary Barnage. Super nice guy when he used to come to shows.
big fan. Of
I do
Gary
remember
Barnage.
Gary Barnage brought players with him,
Yeah.
but I that's before I had to pay attention to the Browns because of my job. So.
Yeah, sport.
didn't
Before he was
know.
sports guy John Thorne.
Yeah.
Now I gotta be
huge
sports
baseball guy, John Thorne.
Huge
John Thorne,
baseball
baseball guy.
You got to know all the sports at my job.
John Thorne Sports. Anyway, check that Patreon podcast coming out soon. John Thorne on Sports.
John Thorne on Sports.
Thorne on
Wow.
Sports.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Jackson
Dominic
Stone,
Green,
though.
Jackson Stone. Yeah. Hell of a match.
You know, Jackson Stone, he's been a guy that's been floating around locally for years and years and years. You know, we talked about this
Prior to the Akron
maybe
show.
the last podcast, but you know, he did the Last Talent Initiative, which happened in 2020 in Akron. He had a great match with Holden Albright
Yeah.
for the coaches. So much so that, you know, we put it on in front of the crowd as a dark. And, you know, it's just been, he's been one of those guys that, you know, through the pandemic, he kind of, you know, lost in the shuffle. A lot of people, you know, some people, I won't name names, took like offense, you know, those few shows that we came back and we focused on our local crew.
Right.
But, you know, just,
That's not understanding the business and not understanding that it is a business.
right. But, you know, Jackson Stone is a guy that, you know, when I asked Dom, you know, if he had any ideas on somebody to wrestle for the Akron show, he threw that name out there. And I said, really? You know, like, I'm saying you can wrestle anybody. And he said, I want to wrestle Jackson Stone.
So let me ask you this. Because we've been light on storylines. We've had some stories going over the course of the last year or so. But really just a couple here or there. And you're running this one back immediately. Was that already in your head, or is this a program that Dom wanted to work, or is this just off of that Akron show?
That's
You're
just
you know
off
what,
of
let's
that.
throw this on here.
So it was off of that. When I was putting the card together, you know, I couldn't really find something, you know, for Dom to kind of fit in, you know. And I started moving different things around, and I had all these different kind of drafts. You know, this show on Friday probably, no joke, probably had 8 or 9 different lineups. And I thought, well, you know what? Like, let's just run it back in the Odeon, put it on the stream. You know what I mean? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, let's see if they can top it. Because I was really impressed with their match. I don't know how many people watched the replay on IWTV, but I thought they did a tremendous job. So much so that I think it almost fucked up the rest of the card based on where they were. You know, it was tough for people to follow and get things going until later in the night.
Yeah.
So I figured let's run it back in front of this crazy, rabid Cleveland crowd.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same audience, but it's a different audience. So,
Right.
I mean, there's going to be people that didn't see it. Like you said, the streaming, they'll be streaming there so other people can watch it. And not to say that it's going to be the same or whatever else, but I mean, it was very, very good, very competitive. I liked it a lot. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can duplicate it. I guess that's the challenge for them, you know.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this Odeon crowd is opposite of a Tadmore Shrine in terms of how it's laid out. Everybody
It's a lot more
is right
intimate.
on top of
It's
you.
a lot
Yeah.
more intimate. I think it's going to be a lot rowdier. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be louder. I think
Which, credit to our fans, they are well behaved at the Tadmore Shrine, and they need to be. You know, a little bit more proper behavior there.
Tadmore Shrine is kind of weird. You get some family overlap and different things coming. I think Friday at the Odeon, it's going to be rabid and loud and high energy. And I'm excited to see Dom and Jackson Stone in that environment.
And well, speaking
You know,
of,
the Odeon is our ECW arena.
yeah,
You know, like
100%.
that is where
Tom Lawler
a
danced
lot of the
top.
big stuff happens, but sometimes you got to take the pay-per-view to a bigger building. You know?
You do, yeah, yeah. You got to take it to the stadium instead of the arena, like the big franchise does. But speaking of energy and high energy, we've got this scramble that was announced. Chase Oliver,
Scrambles are back.
Uncle Chase, Riley Rose, Johnny Patch, Wes Barkley, and the Dukes, one half of the Dukes, Bitcoin Boys, Mikey Montgomery, also in on that one. Interesting pairing with some of these guys, high energy. It'll be fun to see how Wes Barkley does in a scramble. He's certainly not. You're not going to see
Battling 5 guys in tonsillitis.
You're not going to see high spots from Wes Barkley.
Well, you might. A little inside baseball here. I thought, coming out of the last few shows, after Akron, I put together a list of things that we need to improve upon if we are going to get back to the level that we were at.
Yeah.
And one of them was, for lack of a better term, the scramble high-energy car crash match.
Sure.
We some people will say we invented the match. I don't know if we invented it.
I don't know. Some people might say someone else invented it.
Well,
but,
at least the name.
I think what you've done. I think because of the way the roster is set up and because of the way it's kind of shakes out, I think they've been replaced with the 4-team scramble.
Sometimes there's like a
it's-
four-way.
Yeah, but those really haven't been like the old school 6-man scrambles.
Right.
Those have been replaced by the 4-team scrambles, which have gotten rave reviews and have been crazy, and and so now it's kind of, well, let's see if we can recreate that.
And the
that
thing
magic.
with the tag scrambles is not all the tags have that skill set. Sometimes it's trying to get everybody on thing.
Yeah.
To where this scramble is strategically placed with guys I think can bring the energy up. And
Even Uncle Chase, as old as he is.
yeah, I mean,
He's not old.
tremendously
Trust me, I
underrated.
know.
Tremendously underrated talent. Was involved in AIW years and years ago. Caden did the stats on how long it was between AIW matches. It's like a decade. But this used to be how people cut their teeth in AIW. You know what I mean? There wasn't the benefit of the Winchester or any of that. It used to be, hey, you're a student. Hey, you're new. Hey, you want a shot? Hey, you drove this person. We're throwing you in the fucking scramble.
You're in.
You know what I mean? It was more or less the scramble was the AIW developmental system.
This is how actually Wheeler Yuta used to cut his teeth in
A lot
AIW.
of people, Derrick.
A lot of people
That's
did.
how Derrick
Yeah,
started
Derrick.
in AIW.
Yep.
A lot of people. I mean, the list is endless of people that did scrambles or started in scrambles. And I do feel some people are missing something, but they will excel in the scrambles scenario.
Sure.
And I'm excited for this one. I mean, not to put pressure on those 6 guys, but I fully
Well, they're
hope
there for
and
a
think
they're there for a reason.
It's there for a reason.
Yeah.
And I need it to deliver.
Do you know where it's going to be on the card yet?
I don't.
Okay.
I have
All
not
right.
set the order yet.
Okay. Interesting.
No, come on, we don't give everything away.
Well,
here, Steve
always.
Guy. Come on.
We had a conversation about the ordering of the Akron show a little bit, so had some thoughts to this one. Yeah, I mean, car crash is a great way to describe what the anticipation is for this matchup. It'll be good to see Johnny Patch and Uncle Chase Burnett on the.
Well, the cool
on
thing
the
about
main
it is
show.
because we haven't done one of these in so long.
We haven't, yeah.
How these 6 dudes interact with each other and, put something together. Because when we used to do them, it used to be a lot of the same people.
Right.
And so they kind of got used to it and could kind of put stuff together. So this will be, all these guys are kind of flying blind. So it'll be cool to see how they do that.
And they don't have to worry about the Winchester ring, and that ring is always has issues. And
Yeah,
the
they
ceiling
can really
and all
do
kinds of
some
stuff.
things here.
They can really go for it, and I'm excited for it. I think the people got excited when they saw that Scramble was coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chime in, sound off, as we say.
Yeah,
sound off. Let us know.
Sound off in the replies in the comments if you're excited about the 6-man scramble. And from there, we transition to a matchup featuring a guy who certainly was an expert at the 6-man scrambles during some of the heydays of AIW previously, and that's the returning M-Dog Matt Cross taking on the gentleman to my left, Derrick Dillinger. Big,
What? Really?
big one-on-one matchup.
I didn't.
For
So
you, Derek.
I'm interested to know because I did not tip Derrick off to what this lineup was until the graphic got announced. So I'm interested to know what you thought when you saw that.
I was pretty hype about it. I've never wrestled Matt one-on-one, and obviously, like, I love AIW. So I was pretty excited. Dom didn't tell me. No one told me until I saw the graphic, and like my
That was
dad.
by design.
Yeah, my dad's pretty stoked for it as well. So I think he's gonna come out.
If you need some tips, I could give you. I've wrestled.
Did you
M-Dog
wrestle?
before? Yeah, I could give you some tips on if you.
Did
need
you
to.
beat him?
I did not. I did not.
So they might not be winning tips.
Was
but
it
tips
was it a
will.
multi-man, a one-on-one?
No, 1-on-1.
Where'd you wrestle M-Dog one-on-one?
Mid Ohio.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did he hit you with the shooter?
He did.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That I hate when all these fucking places try to run Cleveland, but like these offshoot things like Mid Ohio, far away. That's the shit that is great. Like that's great. Duke versus M Dog. That's great.
I mean, Derrick, this is a guy with a 20+ year career that you're taking on, and certainly your skill sets are different. What are your thoughts as this match is coming together? How do you win?
I've seen a lot of M-Dog matches. I used to watch him wrestle for JT. I watched him and Jay Pro wrestle a bunch. So I'm going to try really hard, and I'm going to ponder it over these JoJo fries that have just been brought out.
Thank you for getting all that.
Those aren't JoJo fries. Those are more chicken wings for you first. JoJo,
Dillinger going round
Yeah.
2 on the spicy garlic chicken wings.
JoJo fries, my ass, pal.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. It was more. I wanted to see. I wanted to just throw something out there for Derrick without giving him any sort of advance notice.
Yeah. Slight advantage going to Derrick, though. I imagine Ziggy will be in your corner.
Yeah, I think she is. She's always my second in AIW. So she'll be out there. I'll probably throw her at M-Dog.
Will M-Dog's grandmother be there though? Because
That's what it is. That's what I was thinking.
Will you throw Ziggy at M-Dog's grandmother if she tries to get involved?
Will you throw M-Dog's grandmother at Ziggy?
I don't think I'm going to throw anybody or any grandmother. I am going to take probably her foam Matt Cross sword, and I'm going to try to decapitate her with it, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's some violence going on here.
Yeah, that sounds more aggressive than throwing someone at her.
I know.
Decapitate her?
Cut off some old lady's head with a foam sword.
With the foam sword. When Matt Cross used to be like a Spartan, he had these foam swords.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
like 2007.
That's a long
She brings
time
them to
ago.
the shows, still.
Spartan Mad Cross. Well, she's a grandma. She's a little, she doesn't have social media. She hasn't caught up yet to all the.
She loves him.
intricacies.
You need a fork, Derrick.
can I have a fork too?
Thank God I'm here.
Derrick just
Jeez.
taking over this place.
Dropping the ball.
JoJo's and extra wings. God, it's almost like someone doesn't have somewhere to be Wednesday.
I don't know what you're talking
brother.
about. I bought the JoJo's for you, Duke.
Oh, did you? All right, thanks.
JoJo was in concert in Cleveland recently. Anyway,
JoJo Siwa?
also in concert recently, but I meant the singer, just JoJo.
Oh.
She was. A lot of people looking forward to this, though. Derrick Dillinger, M-Dog. This was a fun, creative one out of you and Dominic there, John Thorne. So everybody looking forward to that. The dynamics are going to be interesting, as I said. Duke, who you got? Who would your money be on? You've been in the ring with both of these competitors.
Oh, yeah, I have. Derrick's sitting right here, so you got to put me on the spot. But
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all
it's a
right.
good, old school versus new school. You know what I mean? I really think that's what it is. I know Derrick's been bopping around the scene for a while, but I don't think he would even argue that he's fairly new to a lot of people's eyes. So
Especially comparatively to
kind of
Matt Cross.
the new generation.
I would go with Derrick only from the standpoint of, as he said, Derrick has AIW is just different. It's a different mindset. It's a different attitude. M-Dog comes in and comes out, hits his spots. Comes in for a tier down. Watch out, those JoJos are hot. Derrick's a full-time roster guy, so he's got what it takes. He's got the feeling. He's got the AEW mindset 24/7. So I would probably lean toward Derrick.
I'm married to the game, Pete.
Are
Duke, married to the game.
you? Hashtag married to the game 2022.
Shout out Wes Barkley.
Yeah.
Stealing people's lines again, Derrick.
I will not give a shout out to the Toronto Raptors and 76ers scoring 47 points in the third quarter. dicks.
So I'm very sorry.
Duke's
John.
got the over.
I know. They're killing me.
I'm very sorry. You give me a good match that I'm really excited for, and I just bought you a JoJo fry that you just burnt your tongue
Burned
on. I'm so
myself on.
sorry.
That's why I'm watching you guys. I'm like, I'm not grabbing one of those things.
They're so hot.
They're like potato hot pockets.
It's like a fucking torpedo, dude.
That's why I'm letting them cool. Not my first rodeo.
It almost took me out.
I'm sorry about
Steve
that.
Guy's going down now.
Was dying right next
Just
to us.
like eating
How in
fire.
the hell can you score 119 points in the first half of a basketball game and lose an over? That's terrible. I'm so angry.
You still got
right now.
11 minutes to go.
No, ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna go over 200. I'm so angry.
What if they go to overtime?
It counts, but they're not. They're down. They're up 24. They're not going to overtime. I appreciate your outlook, but that's not gonna happen.
Joel Embiid's going to put the pedal to the metal.
See, FanDuel's got it down to 216 and a half. I don't even see that happening. So,
That's hilarious.
All right, I'm back.
all right, you good? You
Yeah,
good?
well, I'm not going to take another bite for a
You
while.
gonna talk through those blisters you got in your
Oh
mouth?
my god, whole throat just blistered up right now.
That was Derrick's master plan. He's trying to take over the podcast.
Yeah, didn't say an entire word the first 37 minutes, and then he's like, "Well, let me get these guys these JoJo fries so I can talk now." Yes, dude.
I gotta let the drink start flowing before I start talking.
All right,
All right.
fair enough. Okay, so
Thorne's got his in front of him like a pie on a windowsill in 1955. Just cooling. Just cooling.
JoJo's cooling.
Like Aunt B making a pie on Andy Griffith.
back to matchups. Let's roll into some tag team action. The main event continuing to make a name for themselves on the AIW shows, and they are taking on 9 to 5. The Bitter
Big
Baker.
test for 9 to 5. Big test.
Yeah, Bitter Baker.
I mean, Lewis
aggravated
London
accountant.
is well decorated. Jack Verville, not so much. But main event has been on a tear lately.
Oh, yeah.
9 to 5, a bit of a losing streak. So just interested to see it. This is just another one, straight up tag match. I thought looked really interesting on paper.
Duke, every time 9 to 5's quote unquote entrance music hits,
Yeah.
do you have like PTSD and issues, and you think the alarms hit for work?
No, because it's all part of the gig, Steve Guy. You got to get up. You got to do your job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've kind of taken it to a different level, if you will, with their bitterness and their angriness. But I mean, I hate everybody, so I'm always angry at my office. But my new boss who bought the company, I told him I was gonna stay up late and work all night and watch WrestleMania. He goes, "So if I come in tomorrow, are you gonna be surly?" I said, "Kevin, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm always surly." I go, "That's my superpower." So
You're the true aggravated accountant.
I totally get where they're coming from. I just don't know how well it translates, especially against two dudes like the main event.
Not a whole lot.
What
that
did you say
translates well.
earlier? You fucking no small talk in the office.
Oh, hate it. Hate small talk. Hate everything about it. Hate everyone. Hate everything. I want to just work in a bubble and never be bothered.
This is like, so this matchup, if you were the aggravated accountant in this matchup, is kind of your worst nightmare because you've got these office accountant guys and they are taking on football players, basically.
Well, as you know, I've done both. Played football.
That's true.
I am a CPA, but farther away from the football days versus the CPA days.
What position did you play, Duke?
I was an offensive tackle.
Okay, cool.
Maybe Zagura could
I was
get
a
you
left
out.
tackle. I was the second most important position on the field. I was a left tackle.
Maybe Zagura could get you a walk-on gig.
I don't like that guy. That's Zagura. I don't know. I don't trust
What do
him.
you mean a walk-up gig? You think Duke's just going to walk onto the Cleveland Browns, dude?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why
That's not how
not?
that works. What is this, Invincible?
You seen some of the guys they're signing now? Come on. What do you?
Is it Invincible? Dick Vermeil and Vince
I
Papale
think
not
Duke-
walking through that door,
I
pal.
think
If
Doc-
you're going to compare me to Mark Wahlberg, there's worse things to be compared to.
I think Duke can
Yeah.
walk on.
Let's be
Zagura
honest.
can pull some strings.
I don't know. I don't trust that
They
guy.
just cut their center, who was ranked number 2 in Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, but
all
Duke's
last
gonna
year,
Well, they needed
who was
cash.
in his young
Duke's
30s.
gonna come in low.
and they want Duke.
They needed cash.
Duke's coming in
They
low.
could get me for a league minimum.
Duke gets those sleeves cut off. He gets those chest rubs going. He's locked in, Steve.
Right now, huddle with some chest rubs.
Duke,
Come on,
simple
man.
question. Let's get to the heart of the matter.
All right.
NFL league minimum, over under what the Duke takes home.
Oh, over.
Okay.
Yeah, not even close. I wish it was.
Not including the gambling though.
If I worked for a large accounting firm, it'd be close.
Okay.
I work for a small accounting firm, so it's not even in the same neighborhood.
All right, fair enough. So,
What about when you factor in all your gambling wins?
That's worse.
a lot of
Losing $300 tonight.
a lot of losses showed on that. That's why Derek's buying you JoJo's.
I'm not eating those things. I'm not falling for that.
All right, we got to talk about wrestling again before Duke goes off on a tangent because there's a Marvel movie trailer being shown on television right now.
Wow, come on.
Big fan. I know.
Multiverse of Madness. What do you want?
Yeah. So anyway, main event 9 to 5. Looking forward to this one. Big test for 9 to 5, as John Thorne said. I mean, main event just listen. What they don't have an experience of 9 to 5, they more than make up for in size. I mean, main event looks like
I don't even know if you could say they don't have the experience because 9 to 5 has only been a team for a couple years. I mean, they have a lot of experience individually, but you know, I mean, for years, Lewis was teamed with Flip Kendrick.
Yeah.
And Jack Verveil was, you know, MIA.
He was in the Jack of Love, bro.
Well, I know that. Trust me.
Shout out.
I spent an absolution against him and many other matches against him.
Shout out Chest Flexor.
Exactly, Chest Flexor, yeah. And Jefferson Saint.
That pink belt.
No belly button either.
Meanwhile, main
Good
event,
guy, though.
Jefferson Saint doesn't have a belly button.
No, you didn't know that?
No, yeah.
Oh, what happened?
He was like born with the insides of his body out on the outside of
Yeah,
his
they had
body.
to do some they did something to fix that, and B, they made him look just like Andy Kaufman.
He does look like Andy Kaufman.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
good guy. Good guy. Miss Jefferson Saint.
Jefferson Saint is a good guy, but yeah, he was born with all of his organs outside of his body. So they had to like figure out how to get them all back into his body. And then
So they figured the best way apparently was through the belly button.
and sewed him up, and he has no belly button. He has like a big, like
Scar. Yeah.
scar / that's where they put him back
It
together.
almost kind of looks like a, no offense, whatever.
Not-
it kind
not-
of looks like a C-section scar almost.
And not, I don't even know if anyone listening to this even knows Jefferson Saint, but
This is
You
like
should. Good dude. You should know.
the information you're getting on this podcast today, folks. Since we're
See
all
what
back
happens when I
together.
show up?
We got
Jefferson
historical
Saint
references.
Jefferson Saint, earlier days AIW, I'd say like, I don't know, 2009, 10-ish.
Before that.
He was woman's champ, right?
Yeah.
He was the
him
woman's
and,
champ.
Him and Angel
Absolution-
Dust had a
Absolution 4.
classic.
Yeah.
Absolution 4, so
Andy got beat up real bad.
Oh,
from
eight?
that's like 8,
09? 09.
8, 9.
Haley Hatred messed him up real bad. I remember
Yeah.
that.
And he's on some very early Beyond Wrestling stuff.
Meanwhile, in the background right now, I'm being thrown off because one of the
Party
greatest
all the
songs,
time, exactly.
one of the greatest songs in pop music history, "Party All the Time," Eddie Murphy, produced by the one and only Rick James.
Rick James, super freak.
Fantastic. All right, so
Great clap segment. It's rare you get a good clap segment in a
that's
song.
true.
This
That's
one's
true.
got it.
Rolling on, and we talk about exciting matches, and we'll get to some of the marquee matches, so to speak. One of which John Thorne only just dropped before we started recording this. It is a 4-way matchup. Pretty Boy Smooth, Kaplan, Filthy Tom Lawler, and the intense icon himself, Joshua Bishop. And I just
What more needs to be said about it? I don't think anything needs to be said about it.
I just envision a lot of punches to the face.
I think it speaks for itself.
This match is going to be so fire. PB is going to come in real hot. JB is going to come in real intense. And then you have Kaplan.
PB knows about fire.
It's going to be fire?
PB's going to come in fire, smooth. Kaplan, fresh.
Kaplan's a dangerous man. Having been in the ring with Kaplan at the Winchester, at the last Winchester show, I still think I have a bump on my head from when he headbutted me. Because he doesn't, filter isn't the right word because that's more verbal, but he doesn't have he doesn't have a governor. He just goes full tilt. And he just brings it hard.
Full tilt boogie.
He just brings it hard. Full tilt boogie. Tying it back. I didn't even realize I was doing it. That's how good I am at this. Didn't even know I was doing it, and I brought it back.
He's only got one gear, and it's
Forward. It's
fourth
forward.
gear.
It's forward. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Forward gear crew, Kaplan.
Full tilt boogie gear crew, Kaplan. Anyway, so not much needs to be said about this. If you know any of these four, then you understand that this is going to be hard hitting, and there's a reason why all four of them are in this matchup together. This is when we talk about AIW having fights instead of matches, this is one of those where this is just a fight. This is just a brawl, right?
We're going to see. I mean, that's the hope, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so.
We got 4 dudes that'll mix it up. I mean, Tom Lawler, he'll mix the shit out of everybody.
He'll mix some shit up.
He'll fucking fight everybody.
This is like a 4-way
He might
UFC
mix martial
fight.
arts.
He might.
Might make some martial arts, yeah.
Motherfucker taped me to a guardrail and blasted me in the head with a chair.
Did you deserve it?
No.
Are you sure?
No one deserves that,
Well,
Steve guy.
All right, that's fair.
Not only one hand, but both hands, so I couldn't even protect myself. Damn it.
Some people will pay for something like that.
Oh, everybody paid for it. They loved it in the front row. They thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, Tom Lawler, man.
I'm
You gotta
surprised
watch
I
out for
remember
him.
it.
Tom Lawler is somehow still. Is it fair to say that at this point in time, even given his UFC background and just MMA background, Tom Lawler still underrated?
I think he's
As a wrestler?
Yeah.
Not in the AIW, but I think if you go whole,
I mean, he's getting some recognition, I think.
He's some
he's-
NJPW strong.
Yeah,
style.
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
Title holder there, yeah.
but he is scary talented. I mean, that's very true.
Yeah. Incredibly talented. Just wanted to note that. Gotta imagine. I don't know. I'm just picturing Tom Lawler in some sort of chapstick spot in this match. Just throwing that out there. Sure it'll happen. Shout out to Frank, though, by the way. Corner man Frank. We haven't seen him in forever. Doing well in the
Worked
NFL.
for the Titans.
I know. Doing a great job.
Does
there
he
in the
really?
NFL. Yeah.
String coach or something? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
he tried to buy an AIW.
He was an interesting dude.
wanna see
that
him-
hot minute he was around.
He tried to buy an AIW, and I just couldn't, like, with a straight face, take somebody's. Like, to me, there's been a few times where people have tried to buy an AIW and
another
said,
JoJo?
for what? AIW is run in the most poor business model way possible, in which I do not pay myself anything. Everything just is in a fucking
It's in a PayPal account.
it's in a safety net account.
Just sits and waits.
right. So he tried to buy in, and I said,
He wanted a seat on the board of directors.
yeah, he said, how much for a seat on the board? And I said, what? I said, what are you talking about?
There's a board?
That's what he thought.
There's a
He wanted to-
whiteboard.
He wanted to buy his seat at the board of
What do you think
directors.
it's the Nevada Boxing Association
He's
or
trying to
something?
push Tom Lawler's agenda on the roster.
Yeah.
There's a whiteboard that we write notes on.
There's a whiteboard. We're going to use that whiteboard soon.
Tom Lawler tells me he would have probably put up a substantial amount of money for that board
Yeah.
seat, but I just can't. I can't
Can't
do
just
it. With,
take. He was
I
a good
can't
guy.
do,
Yeah.
I
you
can't
know,
do it with a straight face.
Yeah.
And the other guy.
Other people would be happy to take your
No,
money.
the other guy said no too. He started a promotion to try to take AW out. Didn't work out. But I just can't take people's money. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
All right, so then we roll into our tag team title matchup. PME, Philly Marino Experience, who narrowly escaped Akron, Ohio in a 4-way. And, dude, people almost cheered for you in that match, by the way, because...
Well, because, yeah, I mean, you know, they signed up for it. Be a man. You know, it's bad enough you forgot the belt. You can't go home without having a match.
You were doing the Lord's work in that match, Duke.
What's that?
You were doing the Lord's work in that match. You saved so many people from getting splattered on the ground. My land.
I tried.
Yeah, you might say right place, wrong time, but really wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, well,
Unfortunately. for
right
you.
place. I wanted to be
JoJo's
there.
are still hot.
They are. I can't believe that.
Gotta let them cool.
I can't believe... That's why I keep cutting mine open.
Gotta let them cool.
Cut it in half and it goes like that. So, Philly Marino Experience taking on the young tag team
We're coming
of members
full
only.
circle. We put the match up with no commentary on Patreon, but this is members only debut match. Was
Yeah.
against PME.
North Canton Street Festival.
They've been working hard. They got a win at the Winchester. You know, PME's been running roughshod. I think maybe members only has their number. You know, members only definitely is going to have the people behind them. And that's one thing that
Members only always have the people behind them, which I find disconcerting.
But that's one thing, you know, one thing that people don't take into consideration when it comes to wrestling is momentum,
Yeah.
and PME doesn't have it. And
They don't. They don't though. They're
got titles.
They're in a group with a guy that has 8 titles.
I understand, but they're on cruise control right now.
Well, but yeah, they're on cruise control because they can afford to be. I mean,
you cannot underestimate a team that the crowd is going to be.
But the crowd
so behind.
The crowd.
I
hate the crowd. So they don't do anything. People think they do something. They don't have this magical power where they grant you, stamina that lets you win matches.
I disagree. I think the crowd can make people do some incredible things.
Just like in other sports. Yeah.
I agree.
To draw a parallel.
I think momentum is everything.
I think to draw a parallel to sports as well.
I will defer to sports guy John Thorne in his discussion of momentum.
Okay, well, let me pose this question.
Yeah.
Is this similar to you see, let's like we're watching the NBA playoffs right now. And a lot of times in sports, you'll hear about these younger teams, rookies, second or third year guys, who are going into a playoffs or going into a game against veteran teams with championship caliber or history. And people say, you know what? These young guys are just too young to even know any better, that they're in this big moment and they might just pull it off.
I mean, there's something to be said for naivety. Is that what you're getting at? Yeah,
that's exactly
to not understand exactly what you're trying to do. Sure, there is, and I could see how you could apply that to members only because they haven't been around the block for a hot minute,
Right.
But I don't know if a wrestling crowd is that. I don't know. I don't give a lot of credence to the wrestling crowd. I'll give credence to home court advantage in a basketball game,
sure,
or something like that. But wrestling crowd, they're fickle. They're fickle people. I mean, I don't give them that.
Well, I could see it working both ways for a team like members only.
I will
right?
say, I think momentum is everything. But to your point, they're fickle people. They did turn on PME in a way.
They did, but I mean, who's to say if members only looks at them cross-eyed, they're not going to start booing them, because they have some weird sense of entitlement where they need to be, shown respect or something, and it's just
could
no,
also see a scenario
not.
though, right, where members only, in their young, enthusiastic demeanor and loving this crowd behind them, maybe try something too hard. To play to the crowd, to get that crowd behind them,
and that's my point.
Right?
And that's my point. You have to do whatever you need to do, whatever you think is the right thing at the right time. And if the crowd agrees with that or appreciates that or whatever else, they will follow you. But you have to lead them. You can't let them lead you. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to make.
Sure.
By this whole momentum and crowd thing. You have to do what's right for you at that moment. And if it works, great. But you can't go, oh, the crowd wants me to do this thing I've never done before, and you screw it up and you lose.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't take your time going to the top rope and start clapping and get that crowd behind you.
No.
Too much time, right? Yeah. We see it all the time, though, with teams. So it'll be interesting to see which way members only goes with this. But huge opportunity that they've been awarded here come this Friday.
That's a good use of phrase, awarded. Because I've noticed one team hasn't had a title shot in a long time. I'm not going to bring that up, but...
What, like a month?
No, a long time.
A month?
Long time.
One half of that
Akron?
team...
That doesn't count. That's a 4. That's
one half of that team doesn't even come to training anymore, Duke.
Hey, don't pull back the curtain. That's my job.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm making Thorne nervous by saying things I'm not supposed to say.
Members only are there every Thursday and Tuesday.
What about Super Fun Friday?
Only the new kids go on Super Fun Friday because that's where the relaxed rolls. Dom and I let the... no one's there on that day.
Wow. Shots fired, Derrick Dillinger. The production, I don't think, has had a tag title shot in some time.
Yeah, I like the singles division. I can't wait to wrestle Matt Cross.
You going to bring some super hot JoJo's for Matt Cross to take him off his game?
That's the way to do it.
He is a vegan, I think.
Oh, is he?
No, I don't know what he is.
Do potatoes work for vegans? I don't know.
Yeah, it's vegan.
Potatoes are good, right?
Maybe feed Grandma Cross some super hot JoJo's so
Just
that
no ketchup.
She can't shout things at you,
I don't think he's a vegan.
throw you off
I
guard.
think you just made that up.
You don't think he's a vegan? I feel like he was a vegetarian.
He's straight edge.
I think he's straight edge vegan, right? Isn't that the same thing?
That's not vegan. Is
Definitely
that's
not
not
the same thing whatsoever. Wow.
Drinks are flowing finally for Derrick.
Yeah. He's a straight edge vegan. That would be two different things. My goodness. Anyway, from PME, let's go into the guy that they run around with right now, the broski himself, the man of many, many titles, Matt Cardona. We found out that he's going to have Chelsea Green with him, and we talked about the AIW school, one of the instructors, Josh Prohibition. That's who he's getting this match about. This match is kind of everything for AIW.
I mean, this is another one, momentum. This is a battle for the heart of the city. you know? Josh Prohibition, I think, truly feels he has, at the very least, one last big run in him. And he wants this match. He feels very confident in this, in his chances in this match. And I think this is a big time fight match.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who, fueled independent wrestling for many years in Josh Prohibition. Arguably, is with the backyard wrestling years and years ago, over 20 years ago, helped draw attention to
I'll say
independent
this.
wrestling.
I don't know what the order is, but I will say this is going on last.
Okay.
This is closing the show. There's no argument. There's no, nothing else.
Josh Prohibition bleeds AIW, and to him, Matt Cardona holding on to both the Absolute and Intense titles is...
I think this is big. I really feel, maybe I'm naive or maybe I'm putting too much stock. I feel this is a big-time match. I really feel this looks great on paper. I think it's going to deliver. I think Josh Prohibition truly has a hatred for Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
That's no sugarcoating anything. That's no storyline. That's no anything. He does not like him. And I think that's going to create a very interesting environment for a main event.
I would I would argue that Matt Cardona also thinks that this is a big deal because he's got his wife rolling out to the ring with him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You could say a lot of things about Matt Cardona, but I mean, he's winning everywhere. He is the face of not only IW but many other brands right now.
Yeah.
And he takes pride in that. He doesn't want to lose.
Right. He wants people to shift the title belts back to him. So
honestly, Josh Prohibition has nothing to lose on Friday.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's a great assessment.
He's putting it. He's putting all his chips in and he's betting on himself.
Yeah, which is you say that and it's so interesting because on the other side, that's exactly what Matt Cardona did when he hit the independent circuit, right? This whole thing comes about because Matt Cardona put all his chips in and he bet on himself, and that's why he is where he is now. But
it did take him a while to get going, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took him a while.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was probably because people didn't trust him or people didn't, respect the hustle or the work ethic. They thought, it's just going to be another guy that, drops down a level and is just kind of show up and do whatever. But that dude puts in the work, man. I mean, he sells everything he does. He puts the work in. He
promotes.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I
mean, all credit to him. He's working that gimmick with the belt collector or whatever he's doing now, and I mean he's putting the work in, and you got to give him credit. You got to there's got to be a payoff for him because he's working hard.
Where do you stand on this, Duke? Because you've been around AIW. I mean, really from day one for the most part. For the most part, sure. And you've seen Josh Prohibition, champion AIW, and I don't just mean be a champion within AIW, but be a face of the brand at various points in time, and in independent wrestling as a whole. But you've also seen, everything that Matt Cardona has brought to the table. So, is there, if the Duke had a heart, which side tugs at the heartstrings here?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. If I had a heart, if I was any kind of a hometown, whatever else, yeah, I'd probably root for Josh, I guess. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you gotta kind of go with what we talked about before. You got to go with momentum. I mean,
Sure.
Josh just kind of showed up again. So I don't really know if he's got momentum, if he's got, like Cardona does. Cardona's, go ahead.
You just see him at the shows. He's been at the training school every week, and he's going crazy at the training school with all these.
But training doesn't equate to
you don't win matches. At the
showing
training
up and
school.
winning high-profile matches.
Understandable, but when you're working with various styles every week, multiple weeks in a row, Prohibition's at the top of his game right now.
Yeah, I know. I understand that, but it's just.
Matt Cardona is always ready, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give that guy the nod. That guy's going all over Josh is staying. He's training and he's staying here, and he's trying to represent, the city of Cleveland or whatever you want to say. But Cardona's doing it all over the country. It's hard to argue with that.
This is, I alluded to you not having a heart, but in very, very much so.
I'm not going to argue with you.
And I think John Thorne has said this. This is a battle for the heart of AIW, right? Realistically.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I think a lot of people do.
That's how
feel about
Josh is probably approaching it. Josh has a very heart on his sleeve mentality.
Yeah.
And so he's probably approaching it that way. I don't think Cardona's approaching it that way. Cardona's approaching it just as it's another defense, another match, whatever else.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't go the way Josh wants it to go, it may hit harder for him. But, I don't know.
Does Cardona doing that, is that a little bit of a mistake, though? Is he taking Josh Prohibition lightly, do we feel?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Matt Cardona
Right?
personally.
I guess that's the question.
But
Is he respecting the history of what Josh Prohibition has done? Not
I don't
just
think
in
Matt
AIW,
Cardona
but-
knows the history.
yeah.
So
To be fair.
that's and then is that part of the?
That could be where he's naive.
That's obviously part of the disrespect that Josh Prohibition feels.
Oh, absolutely.
I just think there's a lot riding on this for Prohibition, because in that locker room,
There is.
Prohibition holds himself as the leader, and he has a lot of guys like me, Bishop, Wes Barkley. We look up to him because he's the Cleveland god here, and he needs to save AIW and get those championship titles from Cardona.
No, you're right. I mean, he does have a lot riding on it. But just because he doesn't necessarily mean, right, wrong, or indifferent that's going to make a difference.
Interesting dialogue all around. You have John Thorne thinking that, you're Prohibition with nothing to lose, and meanwhile the two of you saying that he's got a lot to ride on it. So it just depends on how you look at this match. There are so many viewpoints to what's going on here, and that's why, as John Thorne said, look, you already know this is your main event of the evening, Friday night. But our final match to get to, I saved it for last just because it's the one that we have, advertised right away. If you watched things in Akron, you saw Isaiah Broner lay down the challenge, and all he had to do was say the man's name. Didn't have to say any other words except for
Yeah, I
Minoru
mean, there were a
Suzuki.
lot of potential options here.
Yeah.
It was almost Kaplan. There was almost a few other people. But I just feel like
Momentum again, right?
Broner is a supernova right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he is just fucking exploding, right? And
Yep.
you just gotta go with it. As much as I love Kaplan and I love all the other potential people that were on that short list, I just felt Broner is more and more was the guy for this opportunity.
Short list?
No, not the short list.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to wrestle Suzuki?
Yeah, why not?
For the boot?
Sure. Why not? Oh, by the way, 1,583 days today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Congratulations to me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's why he's celebrating.
Well, that's one of many reasons why I'm celebrating.
But this is one, if you are not in attendance on Friday, when I talked earlier, to bring this full circle, we talked about the audience and what that crowd is going to feel like through the TV screen, this is, I think, going to be, it just is. This is big fight feel. And if you're watching at home, you are going to feel that through whatever screen you're watching on.
I mean, much like, he was a man of few words when he laid the challenge out. I don't know that much needs to be said about this match. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I think it certainly speaks for itself. I think if you don't know Isaiah Broner, you will. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to leave it at that.
There's definitely an aura dynamic, if you will, over that whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Broner is not a loud man, a boisterous man, a talkative man. He just does whatever it is he does. And, you know, Suzuki has a reputation that speaks for itself. So it's just going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, we booked it. Here you go. Let's see what happens. You know?
Yeah. So here we go. It's all going down this Friday from the Odeon in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Limited tickets do remain. Shop.aiwrestling.com. Those all will be standing room only at this point in time. Be aware of that. But it's going to be a hell of a show to be a part of. And you can stream it on IWTV. Again, if you have not signed up yet, do so. It's only $9.99. Use the code ABSOLUTE so they know that we sent you. And
is it still $9.99?
it is still $9.99.
It's been that way forever. Good for them.
Inflation has hit a lot of things.
Good for them.
Not
Good for
your
IW.
subscription
Shout out to
IWTV.
IWTV for keeping those prices low.
There you go. So this is going to be one for the ages. You know, like we look at this card top to bottom, and this could be a special Fight TV pay-per-view or something if we wanted to really make money off of people that I think people would spend $20, $30 on. But hey, you only have to spend $10 on this, and for an entire month, if you keep that $10 subscription, you can watch all sorts of other shows as well. Plus, catch up on AIW, which would be great to do if you don't have IWTV. Get it now. While you're listening to this, before Friday even gets here, catch up on everything that's been happening over the last couple of months, so you are ready to go for this Friday. I think that about does it. Final words, final thoughts?
No,
I think the JoJo's finally cooled off. If you guys want
Fantastic.
to jump in now that
We'll
we're done.
Polish off.
I'm hoping we can break some streaming numbers on Friday night. That's my goal right now.
What's a goal number you think, John Thorne? Do you have a number in mind?
I'm not going to say it, but
Okay.
I do have an I do.
You've got one in mind.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Let's see if we break it. You'll find out if we do or not. We hope to see you on Friday or have you watching us this Friday. Don't forget to tweet along with us. Follow us on social media at AI Wrestling. You'll find out a hashtag to use for the
I was
show
just going to ask.
on Friday. Any thoughts on the hashtag already?
Got to be
so we know?
AIW Beast,
AIW
right?
Beast?
Yeah, AIW Beast.
There it is.
Or AIWIs. What do you guys think?
Beast is better.
Beast. Yeah. Let's go,
Right,
Beast.
AIW
There you go. You heard it here first. Justin Summers. Hashtag AIW Beast.
Oh, thank God we
Make
told
sure
him
you
something.
use it. He's got the whole lineup. Everybody's got
Got to
the
give him
lineup
that
now.
carrot.
Everybody's got the lineup. Everybody's got the hashtag. So follow along, tweet along with us, interact this Friday, and we will talk to you next time right here on AIW's The Card is Going to Change.
Thanks.